Hello world, PDR coming at you here with a beautiful Subaru Outback with what we always call a collision dent in this industry, because obviously it was made by the weight of a vehicle. Somebody's fender most likely bumped into this, or bumper bumped into this when they were pulling out. Let me switch my brand new hat around, guys, that wifey just got. Kind of a temporary fix, because we always listen to our comments, and somebody said, washer, replace that hat, and we instantly washed it, and that day also replaced it, and it finally came in the mail. So very cool. Thank you for all the comments, even if they're positive constructive criticism about my hat, and now I got a new one. So here's what we're looking at. Obviously this car has a couple little dings on it, but yeah, it's large, and it goes right through the body line, kind of crushes it. I would have to say that it is 4.5 inches by about the same in circumference. I'm gonna go like this, just because I'm looking at this flange, right? And maybe I'll take my hammer and actually take this ring off real quick and grab my hammer. And what I might do, see, I'm looking at this flange, and it goes straight, starts to bow a little bit. And the reason why it bows out here is obviously because this metal had to go somewhere, and it pushed it right out. So I'm gonna kind of push on this with my thumb while doing the thing, which is common sense. Grab the wood's grip, right? Get it nice and ready. And I do want to make sure it's nice and tight. There we go. Let's just put it on like this. Let's put it on right in the center of that. Common sense. While I'm going to grab this, I'm going to kind of push on this at the same time. That's why I might have wanted my hammer, so I can go like this. People always say get rid of this hammer. Never. I love this hammer. Oh, look at that. A little bit of push and pull at the same time. A little bit of common sense factor. Now let's see what we got out of it. Huh. Wow. Okay. Just a little bit of tooling needed, and we're going to be looking pretty good. And if I would have just pulled, it wouldn't have came out this clean, guys. I had to do that flange pulling, because it's just kind of one of those little tricks that you end up knowing, and it's almost counterintuitive, but you do know that there's that brow there. And I used to, for the first 15 years, do the dent and then tap that brow down at the end, which is completely the opposite way you should do it, if you think about it. So now I'm just going to check this flange again. I'm going to sense where it wants to bow out a little bit, and it's probably about right here. I'm just going to give it a little bit of tug on the inside edge, push it back out, straighten that up a lot. Now, since I did so much of it so quick, I must say the thing, which is I really do appreciate everybody clicking on this video. I really do. If you want to become part of the community and hit that subscribe button, we sure appreciate the little notifications bell. You get notified every time I post a new video, and I would say every time wifey posts the new video. I just do the dents around here. Okay, so that's how I gained access. If you saw that, it was just zip tap bap, right? I'm in, and I'm just gonna let it sit there because I don't need a lot of access. I see there's a little dent up here, a little denty up here, a large dent here, and this other dent here, and then all of the stuff that was out in the front is all just gone. I mean, there's a little tiny brow. Once I get this dent out, this is all gonna go away. Let's take a look. Let's see what it's gonna end up looking like. My finger and my thumb, let's go on the biggest part. And yeah, I am using in between the white and the black and the orange, or the white and the black and the yellow. And the pushes that I'm twisting onto this with the side of this tip like this are less than 2 pounds. I'm just tugging at it a little bit just to see how this metal is going to move. Don't want to make any funky push marks. There still is some tension in this dent, and even though I got a lot of it out with a nice common sense pull with a wood's grip, it's still one of those things that has to be worked out. All the rest of these lines have to be worked out. Now I'm going to change my angle a little bit. Nope, I'm going to change it back. See how when I change the board up and down with the dent, I can see it a little bit better. Coming right down into here now. And I'm using the fog. You guys can use the lines or whatever you guys can see it on, but I'm right up on the body line, right on that edge. And I'm just kind of giving it a strong 4 or 5 pound push, tugging that edge up. Like now that I am seeing it in the fog, I can see there's a little scratch in the surface coat of the paint. Hopefully you guys can hear us all right. We are out in nature. I'm sure we're using the little onboard microphone, but we do got the birds chirping, and every once in a while I've been hearing a kid scream because they're out playing, which is always nice. And we are just doing a really nice car for a really nice family, and hope to make this thing look good. This was the main dent. There are a few other ones on this car. I don't know if we're gonna, ooh, now I'm seeing the fog. I'm seeing it up here. Let's go up top. Let's get more of this out. I mean, I planned 2.5 hours for this dent. I didn't intend for it to come out this quick. But it's also not out yet. Guys, let's take a different look at it. Let's maybe drop the board down to the ground. Sometimes I do this. Put the board right on the ground and turn this angle so we can look right into it. Get a complete cross check. You'll see that there's this big tight brow. Little tiny ding right up there. Let's see if the softy tip will do a tiny ding. You guys see that tiny ding? Let's change your angle. See it?
Point out.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can get up there. Where am I? There I am. Okay, let's just take out this little tiny ding with the soft side of a tip. Bling! Maybe one more push. Maybe there's a little piece of orange peel there that somebody might... Nah, nobody's gonna notice that orange peel. Let me see. Nope. Unnoticeable orange peel. I could even finish it off right there. That's just kind of me being OCD about the rest of the panel. Now let's start moving down. As these lines break, I'm gonna just fit them together. Right there, right on the side of it. Now I'm in the center of it. Just gotta basically walk it in. You know, every single push that I make isn't perfect, and sometimes I go off to the side, and sometimes I do make that little valley and little divot that I just cannot get out. But in those cases, that's when you basically have to tap down both those valleys, bring it back into a flush dent, and start completely over. And that's where the average person says, no, this is a little bit too difficult or takes too much patience. But that's basically what it would take to make every dent look as good as possible. And we always say, we show the reels, no dent is gonna get 100% gone just due to the fact of physics and stretched metal. Some of the littler dings can be hidden so well that, yeah, to the eye, to the naked eye, you just cannot find where that dent was. And that's the way I like to leave all my little tiny dents. And yeah, if I can get a big dent like this looking like that, that's great. But what we're going for is saving this nice customer from having to go to the extreme of a body shop and do everything that you have to do when you go to a body shop, which is basically leave your car with them and get new paint on it when it comes back. So that's the value in this service, being able to save somebody's factory paint, get it out, get it looking good. By the way, guys, I do watch a lot of Paintless Dent Repair videos, and I don't need to sit here and go out and give shout outs to everybody, but there are a lot of techs that show some very, very clean results, if you know what I mean. There's not a lot of techs that will show you the lines all the way through when it looks like, I don't know, that red F-150 with the aluminum hood that I did that gets a ton of views and it didn't come out perfect. It was a really tough dent. Yeah, and it's always the contrast between what it was and what it is at the end too. Oh, we don't even have the Zen music playing. I was wondering about that. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some taps, and I don't know if I am going to keep you guys in on this whole thing, but we do have a few more dents to do on this one. I mean, I'm running these lines. I'm just doing it so slow and so patient that it's like, it's kind of like watching grass grow. It's, I guess, if you were a real technician and you wanted to see how I'm straightening out every single one of these lines, that could be very interesting. But it's also just, like I say, pretty monotonous, really tiny pushes. Now when I get right up to this edge, I'm gonna have to switch tools because this little guy won't let me in there. I either have to switch tips or switch tools. And since number one is like always 2 feet away from me, I can just grab number one and come into this edge, and I'm basically just, I'm not even holding the base of my tool. I'm just holding the tip of it, almost using like it as a hand tool. And why would I do that? Just because I know number one so well. I know the bend on it, I know the blade on it. It's worn over 11 years of use, and the handle is just starting to get a little bit slippy, so I might have to I don't know, it's lifetime warranty. I think that'd be kind of a mean thing to do, is after 11 years of use try to get a free one. So I might just have to order about 3 or 4 or 5 more tools from PDQ Tools, and then tell the nice lady that my handle's starting to slip, and she'll might even send me out a new one. But on that note, we got a cool new video coming up with some unboxing to do. Just started it today. Shout out to my man at Get a Grip, Matt, you know. Okay, so yeah, I'm doing some very delicate detailed work right here. I'm just kind of getting picky. Let's turn it back to the normal angle that we want to look at. Cross-checking is nice, and cross-checking did show me that high brow, but like I say, let's get a farther angle back. This thing was a larger dent, and what we're going for is that good clean look. Plus I'm probably going to do about 3 or 4 little freebies on this car, because that's how I do things. Let's go out a little bit with this board, and I don't want to yank on it like that because I do have it nice and tight. So anytime I move this, I want to move it just with what I know I can move. Like I'll grab one part of the arm, pull it, grab the other part, pull it. So I'm not just yanking on that grip. And if I do yank on the grip, I'll just push that thing a couple times. I think almost what we ended up with. I guess I could tap a little bit more on this brow right here. I've been bringing this one down pretty nice, just where it's the most tightest. I've got a little bit more I could probably tap right here, kind of like this, just to blend in that brow. Maybe even go with this little guy right here, just get it on its tightest spot and give some brow blending real quick here. But what I will say is it's looking pretty darn good. Let's go like this. I'm not going to put this back together yet. That's what we ended up with. Straight lines all the way through, except for maybe just right here where it just tends to be really kind of dicey, where it was the most severe. But let's do a bonus dent if we have the time and the vision. A real quick one. Let's look at this other dent that I saw up here. See this one? It's kind of tough to see with that angle. But if I go like this, and we look into it like that, you can probably see it a little better. There we go. Yeah. And that's kind of a weird little crease. I'm just gonna go like this, same kind of method. Back, under that plastic. Make sure I'm under the plastic. And then the tip is right on that thing. And this one is going in the free bin because there are a few dents on this car. Actually, I'm gonna move a couple little tools, get my angle a little bit better. It is nice and warm out here today, guys. No heat gun needed on this one. And we're just gonna clean up this little crease in those lines. Number one, sharp tip in it. And I'm not even using a fulcrum. I'm holding onto this tool with my hand, so no fulcrum. Let's go a little bit closer, a little bit finer of an angle. I can see that up at the top edge it's most severe. Let's get up there and fix that. Kind of clean this little area up. There's a couple little dents like this on the car that I'm just going to get up to that 90% mark real quick without worrying about it too much. Because we were here for that big one, and I think the big one came out looking pretty darn good. So if you guys like what you see, hit us up with a like. We sure love to see all the positive comments. And you know, like I always say, I'm not necessarily trying to train anybody, even though I name my dent videos dent training sometimes, but it's more or less I just want to show what I know, show what I do, and give my advice if anybody wants it. You know, people always say, hey, make a video about this or that, and I try to accommodate. So if you guys love it, show me you love it. Hit us up on your social medias, share us on your platforms. Other than that, I think this one came out pretty nice. That one right there is, you know, it's going to be really tough to find once I take off the board and give it a little buff over that little scuff right there. There's probably a couple more that we could do on the car. So I'll just say the thing then with the new hat on. This has been PDR, and I'm out. Peace.